Hey everyone, and welcome to today's deep dive. We're always looking ahead here. So today we're peering into the crypto crystal ball for 2025.
Always exciting.
It is, and we're basing our predictions on some in-depth research from Alpha Sigma Capital.
Ah, yes, Alpha Sigma Capital.
Now these guys, they really know their stuff.
Yeah.
They're actively investing in the blockchain economy. So their insights are,
You're definitely worth paying attention to.
exactly. So we're going to unpack their predictions covering everything from AI agents shaking up DeFi to the possibility of governments using blockchain for cross-border payments.
Sounds fascinating.
Oh, it is. So let's dive in, shall we? One of the things that really jumped out at me from Alpha Sigma's research was their prediction that public markets will become a major funding source for crypto companies in 2025. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a really interesting prediction because it suggests that we could be seeing a major shift in the way that the crypto industry is funded.
Right, because right now it's a lot of, venture capital and ICOs and things like that.
Exactly. And a move towards public markets would signal a real step towards mainstream acceptance.
It would legitimize it in a way.
Absolutely. And it could potentially open up a floodgate of new investment into the space.
It's exciting. But, with more investment often comes more regulation.
Right. There's always that balance to consider. Increased funding could lead to a surge in innovation, but it could also attract greater scrutiny from regulators.
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of making crypto more accessible, Alpha Sigma also predicts an expansion of Bitwise ETFs to include assets like Ethereum, Solana, and XRP.
Now, ETFs are exchange-traded funds.
Right, ETFs.
Yeah.
Can you break down what's so significant about ETFs in the crypto world? Because,
Yeah.
For someone who's just starting out in crypto, this might be a new concept.
Sure. So basically, an ETF is like a basket of assets. In this case, it's a basket of crypto assets.
Yeah.
So rather than buying each cryptocurrency individually, you can invest in an ETF that represents a diversified portfolio of cryptos.
So it's like a pre-packaged crypto portfolio.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it much easier for people to get exposure to a variety of cryptocurrencies without having to become an expert in each individual coin.
It lowers the barrier to entry.
Precisely. And the expansion of Bitwise ETFs to include more assets would likely attract even more investors to the space.
And then you have big players like Amazon and Microsoft who are taking different approaches to Bitcoin.
Yes. Alpha Sigma highlights that Amazon is actually considering adding Bitcoin to its treasury reserves.
Wow, that's a big deal.
It is. It could really boost confidence in Bitcoin as a legitimate store of value.
Right. And then on the other hand, you have Microsoft, which seems to be more hesitant about fully embracing crypto.
They're definitely taking a more cautious approach, focusing on specific use cases rather than going all in on Bitcoin like Amazon is potentially considering.
So interesting to see these different strategies play out. And then there's this prediction about AI agents and the agency economy in crypto.
This is where things get really futuristic.
I know. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction. What are AI agents and how could they change the DeFi landscape?
Well, imagine having a little robot working for you in the DeFi world. That's kind of what an AI agent is.
A crypto bot.
Exactly. It's an autonomous program that can interact with DeFi protocols on your behalf. So let's say you want to lend out your crypto and earn interest. An AI agent can constantly monitor the market for the best lending rates and automatically move your funds around to maximize your returns.
So it's like having a personal financial advisor, but for crypto.
And it can handle things like finding the best prices for token swaps, managing your portfolio, and even optimizing gas fees, all without you having to lift a finger.
That would make DeFi so much more accessible for the average person.
Exactly. It could remove a lot of the complexity and time commitment that's currently involved in DeFi.
Now let's talk about DAOs.
Yeah.
Alpha Sigma predicts the rise of something called futarchy in DAO governance.
Futarchy is a really interesting concept that uses prediction markets to make decisions in DAOs.
Prediction markets, like betting on the outcome of events.
Sort of. So let's say there's a proposal put forward in a DAO. Instead of just voting on it directly, members would place bets on whether they think the proposal will be successful or not.
So it's kind of like crowdsourcing the decision-making process.
Exactly. The idea is that the wisdom of the crowd will be reflected in the prediction market, and the proposals with the most accurate predictions will be prioritized for implementation.
Makes sense. And then we have the prediction about Ethereum staking ETFs. What could those mean for Ethereum?
Well, Ethereum staking ETFs would allow investors to gain exposure to the rewards of staking Ethereum without actually having to run their own validator node.
Because staking can be pretty technical for the average person.
Right. It requires a certain level of technical expertise and a significant amount of ETH to get started. But with an ETF, you could essentially buy into a pool of staked ETH and earn a portion of the rewards.
So it's like passive income from staking, but without the hassle.
Exactly. And this could attract a lot of institutional investors who are looking for ways to get involved in Ethereum but don't want to deal with the technical complexities of staking.
Interesting. And then there's this prediction about ZK-POW, zero knowledge proof of work. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a cryptography expert, so can you break this down for me and explain why it's such a big deal?
Sure. So ZK-POW combines the security of the traditional proof-of-work consensus mechanism with the efficiency and privacy benefits of zero-knowledge proofs.
Zero knowledge proofs. I've heard that term before, but
Okay, so a zero-knowledge proof essentially allows you to prove that you possess certain information without revealing the information itself.
like proving you're old enough to buy alcohol without showing your ID.
Exactly. And in the context of blockchain, this technology could enable faster transaction speeds, lower fees, and greater scalability, all while maintaining a high level of security.
So it's like the best of both worlds.
Precisely. And it could be a game changer for the blockchain industry.
Okay. And last but not least, Alpha Sigma predicts that blockchain will start to play a bigger role in governmental affairs. What are some of the ways they see this happening?
Well, one area where they see potential is in cross-border payments.
Right, because right now international money transfers can be
It can be slow, expensive, and rely on a lot of intermediaries.
a lot of paperwork.
Exactly. But blockchain technology could streamline this whole process, making cross-border transactions faster, cheaper, and more transparent.
That would be huge. And they also mentioned something about governments potentially using Bitcoin.
Yes. They explored the idea of governments adding Bitcoin to their reserves as a hedge against inflation or a tool for economic innovation.
Wow. It's amazing to think how far crypto has come and how much potential it has to change the world as we know it.
It really is an exciting time to be following this space.
So to recap, we've got public markets potentially opening up to crypto companies, ETFs making crypto more accessible, AI agents revolutionizing DeFi futarchy, streamlining DAO governance, ZK-POWs enhancing blockchain efficiency, and governments exploring the use of blockchain for things like cross-border payments and even holding Bitcoin.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is. But it paints a picture of a future where blockchain technology is deeply integrated into our lives in ways we can't even imagine yet.
And who knows what other innovations are just around the corner.
Exactly. So as you go about your day, I want you to think about this. If these predictions come true, how might your life be different in a world increasingly shaped by crypto and blockchain technology?
It's a question worth pondering.
It is. Until next time.
See you then.
Bye.